Fuck. What am I on fire now? As long as these numbers hit. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's Powerball drawing. Wednesday, November 25th. The grand prize tonight is an estimated $524 million. That's right. I'll give you a moment to bookmark your library borrowed copy of 50 Shades of Grey. Gather all your cats around the television, and we'll begin. Just a reminder, your chances of winning tonight's big prize is less than getting a hug from that father you've never met. You ready? Let's begin. And the first ball up is 47. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another exciting edition of the Low Budget Show with Damon Millard. Guess who I am? I'm Damon Millard. That's right. You guys are catching on. Hey, thanks for joining us. This is a good one. On today's show, we have Minda from 910 Comedy. She'll be stopping by. We have a great interview.
Yeah, that's real.
Gets a little dark. You guys can handle it. You're big boys. I'll review a couple products from my local Japanese store. Got some weird stuff in there. Are you supporting your local Japanese store? In these tough times, you got to support your local Japanese store. And that's about it. Nothing too fancy today, right? How you guys been? Get a hold of me. It's Damon at DamonMillard.com. Damon at DamonMillard.com. Why did I look over here? I'm holding it here. Hey, let me know how you guys have been. You guys, I haven't heard from some of you people because I miss you. Huh? You guys okay? I would come over and do a safety check, you know? Make sure none of you guys are in a bathtub with a toaster. Not again. Not again. So yeah, send me a message. How was your Thanksgiving? Mine was pretty good. I stayed at home with my girlfriend and we made some chicken and because the turkey's too big. What the fuck? We actually cooked 2 chickens, so we probably could have got a small turkey. We didn't have turkey confidence. We had chicken confidence. Came out delicious. And I preheated the oven, you know, so I felt like I helped a lot. We had a couple people over, you know. We don't care. We'll break the law. We all wore masks and we sat away from each other. We didn't do none of that shit. We were sweating on each other and like high-fiving, and we coughed in each other's mouths. It was fun, man. Just traditional Thanksgiving shit, you know. You guys don't have that tradition at your house? One of our guests brought a vegan mushroom casserole. It was too creamy. I don't like where my mind goes, you know? What was in that? What possibly was in there? Anyway, we played some games, a game like Password. That was fun. I'm great at that stuff. I was guessing the right answer before my teammate would even get the words out of her mouth. That's how good I am. It was fun. We made the best of it. Everybody had a good time. Here's my dog Cindy enjoying her traditional Thanksgiving pumpkin pie. What else has happened since the last time we've talked? I'm sorry, these things take forever to put together. I'm working on it. We're getting an intern, and okay, what's up with me? I had a show. I did a new punching bag show at the Montauk Club in Park Slope here in Brooklyn, and it was great. We were very safe about it. We were very, very safe about it. We kept the tables 9 feet apart. The law's 6, but we went 9. That's, you know, we had the room. It was in a big old mansion ballroom, so we just said, fuck it. We moved the tables an extra 3 feet so everybody felt safe. And double masks. We were using double masks, and hand sanitizer would fall from the ceiling at random intervals, too. Like, so you couldn't even prepare. It was like a Gallagher show. Everybody was in the front row with their garbage bags so they didn't get hit with hand sanitizer. It was pretty fun. It was the most unique show I've ever been a part of. Only some of that's made up. You got to decide which is the lie. It was great. A bunch of people showed up. People want to laugh nowadays. because COVID's kind of out of control right now. We're putting it on hold. So I want to do it again, but we'll just have to wait and see. So stay tuned for that. Do you follow me on Instagram? It's at Millard Comedy. At Millard Comedy. At Millard Comedy. So just pay attention and I'll let you know when we do the next one. Sounds like a good plan? I think so. So then I had my first outdoor show, right? A lot of other comics been doing these shows on rooftops and backyards. Not me. I was like, hey, don't even send me a booking request. And they haven't. I did a show at the Flatiron Building. If you're not from New York, that's that famous building that, like, when you look on it, at it, like, head on, it looks like an anorexic woman. You know what I mean? It's like, it's too skinny. You're like, how do people even fit furniture in there? On Thanksgiving Eve, I did a show right in front of the Flatiron Building on 23rd Street. Did you know that's where the 23 Skidoo comes from? You ever heard the term 23 Skidoo? You haven't? There's a term called the 23 Skidoo, and it's because back in like the teens or the 1920s or whatever. I'm not a history buff, but I do know this. I know that the term the 23 Skidoo came from dudes would hang out near the Flatiron district because it was very windy there. And girls would be walking by and they'd have those long skirts on, those huge skirts that go all the way down. And then because it was so windy, every once in a while a wind gust would come and you would catch a glimpse of a girl's ankle. And cops would be like, hey, skidoo. They would be like, hey, you got a skidoo. And that's where the term 23 skidoo came from. Because guys, that's how perverted guys are. They're like hanging out, hoping to catch a glimpse of an ankle. Oh my God. Could you imagine a time machine where you could go back to like the 1910s or whatever and grab one of those dudes off 23rd Street and then bring them here now? These dudes would come in their knickerbockers, you know what I mean? When they see the way girls walk around now. Anyway, I'm way off point. So I go and I do my first outdoor show. I call it a show, but it was like we were forcing our jokes on people. Anybody who was just walking by. A few people sat down and enjoyed it, but for the most part, it was... Here's how chaotic it was. Watch this guy.
You can't do that with anything else.
Do you think he knows he just walked onto the stage? I don't think he knows. So I do the show, and I have to piss. This is not the right city for somebody who has a small bladder like me. There's just not a lot of public bathrooms, and it's even less now. And when you do find a public bathroom, it's like disgusting. People are just taking out their rage in New York City bathrooms, writing their names and feces and stuff like that. Anyway, I don't have a big enough bladder to live in this city, so for the whole show, I'm just holding in this need to piss, and I finally get done with the show. I take off. I went to the park, and I jumped the fence into the grassy area that is like closed off. I'm hiding next to a tree, and I'm trying to piss. All of a sudden, I hear this voice out of nowhere. I think I get caught pissing. I took my phone out of my pocket, and I realized I had butt dialed Eddie from O'Keefe's, the owner from the other venue where I run a punching bag show, and I butt FaceTimed him. I've got him on my phone. My pants are all the way down. It's Thanksgiving Eve, and he's a little tipsy, and he's like, "Dame, I love you, buddy. I love you. Oh, I can't wait till we get comedy back over at O'Keefe's," right? And the whole time I got my pants down, and I want to piss. He's like, "Look at my daughter. Isn't she beautiful?" He's got his little brand new baby daughter there. And I'm like, yeah, she's great. And I'm just trying to get off. I'm trying to get off the phone so I can finish my crime. Anyway, so that was that. That's about it. Let's move on to something else. I'm going to drink this. It's probably a little too late, right? But I'm going to drink this. I got this. Doesn't this look enticing? I got this from the Japanese store. It just says Fire Black, and then it's got a lot of Japanese letters. I guess it's black iced coffee. We're going to give this a go. They say it has a lot of caffeine in it.
Shake it.
I don't know. I'm going to give this a go, man. I don't think it's going to touch me. I drink coffee like a crackhead. It's good, but I like cream. I like cream in my coffee. It's actually not bad. I thought it was going to be fishy. How come everything from Japan has like a fish flavor to it? You know what I mean? I don't know. So that's cool. Yeah, it's just basic iced coffee in a can, I guess. Whatever. What else? What else we got? I also got these. Look at this. It's out of focus. You can't see that. What about this? Can you see it here? It's, I wish it didn't have any English words on it, but it does say, it says chorus whistle candy. We're going to do some whistle candy today. Here's what I really like about it. Look at this picture on the back. It's just got these cool birds flying around. Anything with Japanese letters on it makes me think of the 80s. I don't know why. I'm a weird dude. Let's get right into this. Let's see what this is about. So there's this weird box. I like that. What is this all about, you know? I don't know. It smells like an attic. What is it? Oh, fuck, dude. It's a Tyrannosaurus. This is just a bonus prize. Look at that. Can you even see that? Perfect. Fucking Tyranny. Dope. The low budget show budget for this week was $7. $3 for the coffee, $4 for the whistle candy, or vice versa. I don't know. All I know is $7 came out of my PayPal, and I'm angry. This is the most expensive low budget show that's ever existed. Look at that, though. Made up for it. That's cool. I didn't even know that was a thing. Oh, Deb. Oh, all right. Oh, these are annoying, right? Oh. It's like Pez, dude. It's not bad. It's like Pez, but you can whistle. Hey, if you go down to 23rd Street, make sure you bring one of these so you can be like... My dog's very interested to know what's going on here. If you go down to 23rd Street, make sure you bring some whistle candy so if you catch a glimpse of a girl's ankle, you could be like... Damn. I'm trying my hardest. Hey, Toots! And then you say, hey, Toots, because it's the 1910s. Here's my review. Any iced coffee is good coffee. I don't care. It's actually really good. It says here on the back, this coffee's been filtered with the souls of our ancestors. That's good. That's good. And the whistle candy, it's pretty good. That's it. That's it for this portion of the show. Let's go check out our interview with Minda from 910 Comedy. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show. And joining me now is Minda. She is a radio host, a mortician, and a comedian.
Hey.
How you doing?
That's a lot, right?
Yeah, that's a weird combo. I haven't met anybody with that exact combination before.
Well, when you do, send them my way. I wanted to take notes.
So you're a morning DJ?
Well, I'm on a couple of stations. So I'm on noon to 6 on my primary station. So it's the lunch shift and drive time. And then I'm on the night on a different station.
Do you do a radio voice?
I do. It's very happy. Yeah. It's so foreign. My kids cannot stand it. They're like, don't do that. It's awful.
Come on, let's hear it.
Oh, the hits, Mike, is radio. It's the Alec and Andy show. That's the one that I'm on the pop station. Nice. And then I have another one for my main gig. Has to sound very happy. When I first started radio, though, I was using funeral director voice all the time, and my mentor was like, "You sound like you want people to die. Like you need just smile, just smile." And I was like, "All right, I'll try."
What do you think of Delilah?
I sound like her.
Yeah.
Which I've been told a lot, but I don't love her style. So I'm sure she's a lovely person.
She's just so welcoming, right?
I know, and I'm not naturally like that. So it's like a big fake, but I'm trying.
Do you get to enjoy the music you play at work, or is it not your...
Sometimes. It's not really my thing, but it's a gig. Like radio stuff is gig work. So the goal when you're in broadcasting on the air like that, they want to be able to put you anywhere. They want to be able to drop you into any genre and have you fit in any genre, which is why I'm on a pop station and on a country station and on a we play anything from 80s and beyond station. I mean, of all of that, I can find something that I like, but generally that's not my jam. I like a lot of new bluegrass. Yeah.
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 I could see that, I guess.
Can you?
No, I don't know.
Not at all, huh?
No, it does.
You thought
No.
for sure I was going to be like, oh, totally screamo. Nope.
Yeah.
I'm a million years old, so I got kind of thrown into radio. I did not pursue it. It was a very pull me off of the street. It literally was that. Like someone at the radio station heard one of my podcasts and they were like, that girl's kind of funny and she's got a pretty soothing voice. Let's bring her in and see if she can work the switchboard. And then within a couple of months, they gave me a show, which was terrifying.
That's actually an inspiring story.
You think so? Yeah. Well, if you were a podcaster, dreams do come true, I guess.
Dreams do come true. You got a podcast now too, right?
I do. I have Dead Girls Talking, which kind of delves into the other gig, the mortician thing. And we talk about, my partner and I talk about paranormal, UFOs and ghosts and, whatever. We talk about death and things like that. Talk about death a lot. It's okay. I like it. And then we do comedy. Everybody does comedy.
So were you already like kind of death obsessed before, or did that?
I was not. No, I was a massage therapist. So I went from being, so like I always say, like I went from one stiff to another. And so, but I needed a different field. I don't think I was, nobody ever thinks they're weird. So maybe I was.
That's true. No one ever thinks they're weird. That's just a little pearl of wisdom I didn't think about. Yeah, maybe.
Everybody thinks they're normal until the cops knock on your door.
Take me through a day of a brand new dead body showing up.
Someone will notify you that someone is dead. A loved one has passed away and they need to get that person out of the house. And transport will go and they will bring your loved one into, we'll pretend it's my funeral home. We'll bring your loved one into our care. The family will then come up and sit with the funeral director and make arrangements. Behind the scenes, people are taking care of the decedent and also filing death certificates, also letting Social Security know that that person has passed away, doing all the legal things that have to be done.
Yeah, there's a lot of paperwork in death.
There's a ton of paperwork in death, like for real. So these are the two things happening: front of the house, back of the house. Back of the house is embalming this body, making that person ready for the funeral, putting that person, it's called casketing, dressing and casketing the person, putting the person in the casket, applying the makeup, fixing the hair, making sure everything is good. This is post-embalming. Embalming is where they inject the preservation fluid into the person so they kind of last through the service and then the subsequent burial. And then in the front of the house, someone is helping them talk about flowers and transportation to the cemetery.
Formaldehyde, is that right? Is that pretty much what it is?
Without getting too technical, yes. I don't know what kind of audience you have.
I don't have many, so.
Good. They can learn with us.
Do families ever request anything weird? You know what I mean? Like, oh, I want her to be in this sailor outfit, or you know what I mean?
They always forget to bring shoes and socks and undergarments and stuff. So they'll just bring they do weird stuff. They do weird stuff. They bring really weird clothing. It's like a deep V-neck sometimes, and I'm like, what was Grandma doing in her off time?
Yeah.
And there's usually an incision here. So you have to cover that, and the deep V-neck is not helping with that situation.
Right. So your advice for people?
Scarves.
Turtlenecks?
Scarves are awesome.
Scarves, yeah. Turtlenecks.
Turtlenecks are fantastic. Hoodie. Underwear is good. You don't want the funeral home to charge you for underwear.
I don't wear underwear though. Would they?
You will unless you tell them not to. That's a direct thing you need to put in your wishes. Do not put underwear on this body.
What if whatever you get buried in, that's what you have to wear?
Is that your ghost outfit?
Yeah. That's your ghost outfit.
I guess you're fucked. Hope you like underwear in the afterlife.
Because one time I went to jail in the summer and I got released in the winter, and they give you your clothes back.
Yeah.
So I was in swim trunks when they released me in December. So
Yeah, I can see that happening.
So it's kind of similar, right? Like,
I think it's exactly the same. Be haunting people in swim trunks.
if someone's like fucked up, like if someone gets like decapitated or mutilated or
I
something,
fixed that. I've had to do that before. We
is
had a
there
guy
a
who
fix to that? Like, you push for like a closed casket, and then you could just like put it in a
you
casket.
do, and then you make them sign what's called a trauma release if they still want to have an open casket, or if they want to see the body. You have to make sure you're no longer liable for that. You want them to get closure. You don't want them to be traumatized, but sometimes they push for the open casket or they want to see the body.
I think if my mom dies, she's convinced me she won't. But if she does,
She won't.
I'm gonna
She'll
want
stay
to
with you
see.
forever and ever.
Gonna need proof. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like, maybe she just,
Maybe she's
maybe,
just gone to Florida.
yeah, maybe maybe she's faked her death and she's gonna
Yeah.
go play bingo in Florida forever. I don't know. I think anger can keep you alive longer. Like,
God, I'm counting on it.
yeah.
That's my retirement plan. Rage.
You ever have to put coins on people's eyes or anything like that?
I've never had to do that. I've done a lot of Hindi services where I've done the prayer beads under their clothes. So that's very specific. You have to make sure you go from the right, because it goes from one shoulder to the opposite hip, and you need to make sure that you put that on them, correctly. And it's an honor to do that, because that's the thing. Like, you're honoring this person's family and their wishes. I've done a lot of weird stuff. Like, we had a huge Hispanic population at one of the funeral homes I worked at, and they had hired a taco truck to come hang out in the parking lot during the service, which I thought was the best ever.
Yeah.
And they had hired a bounce castle to come out. So
Yeah, because I've been at funerals and I'm like, I could use a taco,
Yeah, we couldn't, right? And then there's like 3 old abuelas singing "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd in broken English with little guitars. And we weren't supposed to have candles going on in that room, but they had like these big pillar candles happening. It was a party. It was
It's
a fun
probably
gig.
hard to approach somebody and be like, put that candle up. This is a funeral.
Sir,
This ain't no
if someone told
festa.
me to do that, I would just start crying hard.
This is like people's worst day, and you got to deal with that, right?
So that's exactly right. It is people's worst day, and that they teach you that in school. Like, we deal with someone every day who's having their worst day. And so we're taught early on not to mourn. We are not mourning with you. We're supporting you through your grief and helping you. So it's very important to do pre-arrangement, which I know this is like a fun show, but this is not a fun topic. But it's really important to make sure your wishes are known, or like, your parents' social security numbers, because that always gets people. They don't know anybody's social security numbers. How old were you when your grandma died?
I don't remember. 20.
So you were like a grown-up. You were an adult. Okay.
Yeah, I was like an adult, but I was a baby about it.
Well, of course, Nana died.
It was weird because I couldn't cry about it. After, like, the day I heard, I cried like a ton, and then I stopped.
Yeah, that's called complicated grief.
Yeah, I have a lot of complicated grief.
Well, yeah. You seem like a complicated guy.
Well, just have fun with it.
It's a blast. I'm having a great time. Oh.
These are some heavy subjects that I thought I could get some laughs out of. And
I'm trying, man. I'm trying to lighten them up, but you're asking me pretty direct, horrible questions.
Yeah, I guess so.
But people they are fascinating, because it is it's kind of a taboo subject. Because again, like you said, no one thinks about it until someone actually passes away. It's a tough subject. You have to have a real fucked up sense of humor to do it. And so a lot of people who are in the death industry are actually, on the down low, extremely funny people. Very morbid,
Yeah,
but very funny. And I was doing mortuary before I was doing comedy. And that's kind of what happened, is because I used to do pinup modeling, and someone said, "Oh, you guys are really funny. You should come do an open mic." We went and did an open mic, and we sucked. My friend and I got on stage, and we sucked so bad, because we didn't do any prep work. We're like, we're just going to give it we'll riff. It's first on stage. But we were bombing, like, really, really, really bad. And I said something about being a mortician because I was still in college at the time. And it was a very weird Miss Maisel thing because I had like a victory roll in my hair, and we were modeling a lot at the time. We were all thinner before COVID. And I said something I made a joke about being in the death industry, and the audience was immediately like interested. They had like shame laugh because it was kind of, I don't remember what he said, but it was kind of fucked up, but it was funny. And then they started inviting me back. Like, we should come back and do more. And I was like, no. But then I warmed up to it.
Yeah, it just seems like such an interesting thing, like where there would just be a well of stories and comedy just coming out of it. You know what I mean?
It's a lot. Yeah. Like, I built my entire set on work. It was all death stuff. And I would kind of like dress the part when I would go to shows, and when I do open mics, I was wearing like the long black dress and making, Elvira jokes and shit like that. It was kind of hacky.
You were like the Larry the Cable Guy of the death industry.
Yeah, that's offensive. No, I'm just kidding.
When you have something unique, you should definitely use it.
Well, it was very strange because it was like cosmically, I didn't do regular funerals. Like, the very first funeral home I worked at was like the Mick funeral home. It was like a budget funeral home. So we got a lot of very weird cases. And then the second funeral,
Mick?
like McDonald's. Like, it was very like.
I thought you just meant like an Irish.
Just the Irish, yeah.
Oh, I get it.
Potato chips, coffins, the whole thing. And then the second funeral home I spent a lot of time in was a backwoods, very, very country funeral home. The receptionist was 80, and every time we had a funeral, she felt like the winner because she knew everybody in town. So every time she outlived somebody, she would just stand at the front door as the family came in, just beaming, like so happy, like, she won. Yeah. She still walks this earth. And many, many, many stories coming of both of these job experiences.
What do you like better?
I like radio better. I like working with the families that I work with because realistically, they are in need, and I like helping them.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff that comes with the burnout rate for the funeral industry is very high.
I mean, are you more well adjusted to it? Have you seen other people who couldn't handle it?
I've seen I worked under a woman who couldn't handle it, and we didn't know what was going on with her. She kept going to the gas station. Like, she was really like in a really bad mood, and she was like, I'm gonna run to the gas station. I'm like, okay. And then later on, we found syringes in her desk. We're like, oh, that's why she was so damn efficient. So, like, I've worked with some really incredible people in the death industry. I just have seen a lot of, other stuff too. I've not been in it that long. I've only been in it for like 3-4 years.
I just feel like, for me, if I were around it all day, eventually I would just be like, just depressed constantly.
I don't really get depressed. I get mad. Like, what? Like, the injustice of like I said earlier, like, not everything happens for a reason. I can't adhere to that. Yeah,
I kind of agree with you on that. Yeah, you ever hear like a story where like there's a school shooting or like a church shooting, and like one of the survivors will be like, Jesus was with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but not the other 16 kids that got blown away. Yeah. Those sinners. Fuck those guys. They're gone.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't know. I didn't. Right. Your parents didn't tithe, but I can't figure out the ways in the world of the universe.
You're kind of forced to think about those questions all the time, right? Like, no.
I was more in the beginning of the career, but after a while, and this is more about control. Like, you kind of let it go. You're like, well, I'm not going to obsess over this because I'm here to do this job at this time. And you don't want to take stuff home with you. Like, tap your doorway on the way out. Like, okay, I'm tapping out, leaving it here. And if you can do that, that's what you need to do.
Do you think about what your funeral's going to be? You going to get a nice coffin?
No, I'm not. And I'm not a vampire. We don't use coffins. It's casket.
Casket.
I'm not going to get a casket at all. With luck, I'll do green burial or cremation. I don't like embalming. Weirds me out. I do it. I know how to do it, but I feel like it's kind of an unnecessary step anymore since we have refrigeration.
I saw this thing on the internet. You ever heard of the internet?
Just recently.
it's something like it was like I don't know. It's like the base of a tree or something.
That doesn't work. That's just
not a real thing.
It's not a real thing because when you put a person in there, the nitrogen, because especially if you put cremated remains in that pod, the nitrogen level of the cremated remains would fuck up the root structure and essentially kill the tree. So you've got 2 deaths on your hands right there. That's a very live, laugh, love situation, but it doesn't actually work. Now you can get a mushroom suit, and that will essentially take you back to earth, and the mushrooms will kind of absorb you without any chemicals or anything. It's the greenest of green burials.
You said a mushroom suit?
Mm-hmm. They put you in this suit that's like with live fungi on it, and they put you in the ground, and it'll speed up the decomposition and bring you back to the nature faster.
I can't do that. I don't like mushrooms.
I know.
Do they have like a jalapeno suit? Maybe.
Nacho-flavored death.
Yeah, nacho-flavored death. I'd watch a movie.
That's a wrestler right there, buddy.
Yeah.
Nacho-flavored death.
Yeah, I like that. That's the name of this episode.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Finally.
Finally, we're finally onto something here. How can people find you? 910 Comedy?
910 Comedy on Facebook and the Instagram, and then Dead Girls Talking on Facebook and the Instagram. Dead Girls Talking Podcast, I believe, is the full thing we have on there. And then if you really want to get froggy and follow, That's Just My Face, although we don't produce as much lately. We're also on Facebook. We love the Facebook because it's very reachable.
All right. Get froggy, everybody. That's the end of our show. Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks to Minda. Go check her out, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you.
The Low Budget Show with Damon Millard.